Hi everyone, and welcome back. I am here with my good friend, Miss LaToya Morgan, and she is a life coach and has been like a great, I don't know if she knows, but a great motivator and inspiration for me for a long time. And today we're going to be talking about, because you know it's January, New Year, new me, everybody's with it. Honestly, I'm not a New Year's kind of girl, but I've learned to not be bitter about it. And I used to be one of those people like, oh, if you really want to change, you would have changed a week ago. You wouldn't have waited till the New Year. That used to be me. I'm not gonna lie. But I realized that whatever people need to motivate them to do better for themselves, let them run with it. Right. Whether it be the new year, the new month, the new week, let people be where they are in their time, in their space. So, as January is a time for the new year, new me, what are some ways that you can help those of us that are in this new year, new me phase actually achieve the new me that they're looking for?
Good question. And I'm excited that I was one of your motivators. But one of the things that a lot of people come to me with now around this time is being healthier and losing weight. Usually those are the top two things. You know, occasionally there's like career switches that someone wants to do because they're unhappy with their job or they want to improve in their relationships. But the most common one is being healthier and losing weight. So ultimately with either of those, the key thing is, what is the purpose? Okay. Like, why do I want to lose weight? Why do I want to switch job? Why do I want to be in a better relationship? That's one of the key things that we need to ask ourselves. Because if you don't know where you want to go, how are you going to get there? You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like one of those things. You really have to understand that. And I think a lot of times we get bombarded from what society is telling us to do. That's why a lot of people like in January to do New Year, New Me, because it's,
you know, everybody else is doing it.
It's like, the hype,
well, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right, exactly. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's nothing wrong with doing it at that time, but usually people kind of go with the flow.
Right.
It's a lot easier to go with the flow. So knowing your purpose is definitely one key thing to do. When it comes to like working out and things of that nature, I think that really finding an accountability partner and or a coach, that's what I do. You know, essentially, literally that's what I do. I help people to get from where they are now to where they want to be. The number one reason why we don't get there is because of ourselves. Okay. Everybody always thinks it's other people. But it really is.
That's my biggest thing. I'm the only thing holding me back.
Absolutely.
Me coming home and actually just getting into bed and not editing, or me not, you know, scheduling another interview or another conversation is what holds me back, not people not watching.
Right.
The more content I do, eventually some people are going to catch on to it.
Absolutely. And it's a hard thing for people to swallow, you know, because it's easier to say that this one or that situation or where I am, all these, it's easy to say that, but when you really say that it's me not doing it,
right,
then it changes the whole game, right? Because then it's only you that has the ability and the power to do something. So you have to really ask yourself and sit with that. So literally, taking that ownership is so key, and it can really change the way you see yourself and how you show yourself in the world.
Got it.
Another thing, let's see, with health, I also recommend taking it slowly, you know? So don't think you're going to lose 20 pounds in a month, or you're going to work out for 4 hours a day.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Right. So if you only have an extra 10 minutes that you can carve out, be active for that 10 minutes. Grow that 10 minutes from 10 minutes to 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Like, make it a part of your lifestyle. You know, anytime we're trying to change a habit, if we put it attached to something that we're already going to do, it's less harder for us to kind of do it. So for instance, like brushing your teeth. We're going to do that every day.
I would hope so.
Right. We're going to brush our teeth every day.
You should.
So, right. Twice. So literally like.
And floss.
Right. And floss. So literally what we want to do is attach something like, so maybe, you know, you want to take better care of yourself. Maybe it's like having your vitamins. So after you brush your teeth every day in the morning, you take your vitamin. And just make that a routine so you don't have to think about it. Because sometimes when we have to think about things, it might not get done.
Right. And I was listening to a TED Talk, and TED Talks have been amazing. If you don't listen to TED Talks, I suggest that you get into them. They have an app, so I just do the TED Hour app. I love it. And one of the talks was a guy that actually makes his living off of being a novice, or there's another word for it, but he's officially just new at everything, and he just undertakes these different projects with absolutely no experience. And one of the things that he learned, or that he was, expressing, was that thinking something enough will change your actions. And he found that if you just do it, you can change the way you think.
Absolutely.
So you can sit there and think yourself into working out every week, or you can think yourself that you can think that you're going to work out every morning. But until you just work out every morning, your thoughts will fall into line with your habits. Absolutely. So, if thinking doesn't work for you, I don't want to say thinking don't work for you, but the whole thought process, just freaking do it. And if you do it enough, like, habits don't necessarily come from consistent thought. They come from consistent action.
Absolutely.
And that's what can be something that can change.
Absolutely. I tell a lot of my clients just that, to do it. Like, stop thinking about it, because usually when we're thinking about it, we're not thinking all of the great things that can happen. When we're thinking about, oh, this is going to happen. This is always downward. That's what we're thinking.
If I do this, now I can't do this anymore.
Right.
Oh, if I start eating this, and then how am I going to bring it? Then I got to carry it to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are why I don't
Right. So instead of looking at the beauty of, like, oh, I have a time to cook for myself, I get to do this, our perspective just completely changes and it goes down. So what does that do? It makes you not want to do it.
You find reasons and excuses not to do it.
Exactly. So
talk yourself out of it before you even get into it.
Exactly. Most people do that all the time. So do it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, the saying is aim, shoot, fire.
Okay.
Right? So it's shoot, fire, then aim. Meaning, and that's one from one of my, good teachers and mentors in my head, Jack Canfield, saying, as soon as you have something that you want to, just do it. Mm-hmm. Then after you actually do it, then you can figure out and see what needs to be adjusted and what doesn't need to be adjusted. But when you have no idea, you're adjusting and doing all this, but you haven't gotten the experience yet.
Right.
So just doing it, that's why if you have the 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. Don't be like, I don't have any time, I only have 10 minutes. Do 10 minutes.
Right, that's time right there.
Right, and that's time that will be helping you into the direction of where you want to go.
One thing I like to remind myself is that everybody has the same 24.
Yes.
Like, your 24 hours are the same as mine. We may do different things with our 24 hours, but Beyonce got them same 24 hours. Steve Jobs had the same 24 hours. Oprah got the same damn 24 that we have.
Right.
Honestly. It's what are you doing with your time that is, getting you to the status you want to be at. You may not desire to be an Oprah. You may not desire to be a Beyonce. But whatever you desire to be, you've got the same 24 hours to get there.
Exactly.
So and it doesn't necessarily have to happen in that 24 hours. Like, today's 24 is a start. You know what I mean? Like, God willing, you get the next 24 the next day. So I guess another thing is, like, you can't, like you were saying, I think it was the second thing we were saying, is don't make it manageable. Yeah. Don't expect to lose 20 in a month. You know what I mean? Like, if you say, I'm going to work on this, move 2 pounds, and then you can actually, then like, well, damn, I lost 12. You did better than what you initially set out. Not to say shoot your goals low, but at the same time, don't make them, insurmountable so that you can beat yourself up for not getting them. Or what I like to kind of, like how I plan out kind of my work is what is my projected outcome? And then how can I break that into attainable goals? Like, if, for example, uploading on Monday, okay, how is that going to be attainable? This is Wednesday. I need to do X, Y, and Z by this date so that Monday I'll have something edited to post or whatever. So, I mean, that's another suggestion for me, not the professional, that if you set a goal, make it, small, little pieces that you can bite off. You don't, take your entire plate and put your whole plate in your mouth. You eat it bite by bite.
Exactly.
Like, she seems to be there's nothing here. This is just love. She just loves me. I just want you. So,
she's cute.
As a life coach, what are some of the things that you see other than, talking themselves out of it? What are some things that you see people, destructive habits, if you will? What are some things that we should kind of stay away from in order to achieve some of the things that we want to achieve?
So one of the things is really understanding your greatness, right? So I feel like many people look to like the Beyonce, Steve Jobs, whoever of the world, and see themselves different than that. And truly, we have the same thing that they do. But one of the things we were just talking about is like, what do they do within the time that it's allotted? Are they thinking? Are they doing? Are they doubting? It's really like they're in action. So understanding how great we are. And every single person on this planet is put here for a reason. Right. So literally being with ourselves to find out what that is and then doing it. So I think that's one of the things that people really don't understand. And when they come to me, I'm like their cheerleader, before they even know that they're on a team. I'm like, yeah, let's go. You can do it. Like, and no, you're not stopping. You're going to do it, So it's key, because when you feel that inside of you, you will begin to do things so different. You know what I mean? When you really understand that I have a purpose here, when you really understand that I belong here, I've been called to do something, there's no way you're going to be like this. What I mean? Like there's just no way, because then you understand how much, is in you.
How much is waiting on you to actually get done.
Absolutely. I mean, I always tell people, there are people literally waiting for you to do what you like.
Wow. Pretty big.
I mean, like there are people waiting. So can you get your stuff together? Because not you, but can you get your stuff together, because people are waiting for your message, for your talent, for your product. Exactly. People are literally waiting. They came on the earth waiting to hear what you have to do. So then it puts things completely into perspective, because then you can kind of get out of your own way.
You realize your purpose, and it's just something bigger than you not feeling like doing it right now. And you can realize that there's a reason why I have to do. For example, my purpose for going to work every day is for that check. I don't go to work because I want to. Let me clarify that. That's not what I would like to be doing.
So we're going to say yes.
I would like to be able to wake up and do what I want to do. I would love for it to be this. But until then, I will show up. I'm only on time because they pay me to be on time. And I will do what they ask me to do during the day because they're paying me. And granted, one day that will not be the case, God willing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But until then, that's the purpose in that. And so if you just pick a purpose, not just pick a purpose, but find the purpose and why you're doing something. And truthfully,
I would even say that the purpose of you going to work and that payment is to fuel your passion. So it's ultimately once you find what you're here for, everything in your life should be supporting that, giving you the wind underneath. You know what I mean? Because that's why you're going to work. You can get that check, and the check is going to help you in some way, shape, and form to develop this baby.
Right.
Not that one.
The dog Schmidt.
Oh, wait.
We're not there yet. Not now. So let's see. How can people find you? How can we search out your services? You are a life coach.
Yes.
So how does one go about choosing a life coach and actively gaining what a life coach can bring to their life?
So that's a great question. For me, I'm on social media a little bit. Still working on that. So I'm on social media, YHTINC, and I have a website. My business name is Your Hidden Treasure, hence why I just told you that you have a treasure, like you are great inside. Right. So I'll help you discover that. And most people, how they find a life coach is usually it's by word of mouth. Okay. Many people.
Which would be this word of mouth.
Word of mouth, yay! Right. Usually it's still actually a little taboo in our community to have a life coach, to be completely honest, because they think that it's about therapy and that something is wrong with them, which I don't believe that anything is wrong with therapy either, but it still just has a little stigma to it.
I've considered it. I just don't know when I would schedule it in.
It's great.
Do they just accept your insurance? You just walk in with your insurance card and be like, hey girl, so this is the insurance I have.
I think it's the same thing like, researching a doctor, like making sure they take your insurance, and then it's fine. And if your company does that, that's good. Your company's good. That they have, I have insurance,
so I feel like
some places just don't take it for
health services, right?
Yeah, because it's mental health, so they don't kind of put underneath that umbrella. But it should be really a part of health because it's really important. It actually is. It's probably more, in my eyes, a little bit more important than the other health because that fuels it.
Right.
To me,
right? They're all connected.
You're
not in one body for no reason.
Yeah, it's totally all connected, and everything starts here. Right. Our brain is what's fueling, making our heart beat.
You're not going to make healthy physical decisions if you're not mentally healthy.
That's what I'm saying. Now we're talking. So really, we need to talk to some people in politics. I guess I don't know, but literally,
a whole other conversation.
Right, a whole other conversation. But we really. So if you do have it, absolutely go because it's great. It's an opportunity for you to see yourself in a different way. What I say with a life coach that's different from a therapist is, many times as therapists, they kind of talk about what has happened in the past to kind of get you to where you are right now and like kind of working with you with that and like recognizing your behaviors and things like that, which is always important because when you know yourself good, then you can relate to everyone else in the world. Right. That's key for us to know who we are. For me, a life coach, I don't necessarily work with you a lot on your past. I work with where you are now and where you're telling me you want to go. And then I'm pushing, kicking, screaming, and getting you there. You know what I mean? Right? I'm your cheerleader in the corner. So that's kind of the difference. But it's always great because we can never see ourselves completely. Right. So you had that girlfriend and you're like, why are you still with him? Because you're not emotionally attached, it's always easier for you to see on the outside. Same concept. So sometimes people don't want to necessarily talk to family members or, their friends because they really know like everything that happened. And you're like, I'm leaving that. I'm going to be different. Right. So they kind of come with judgment when they're having this conversation. Right. As a life coach, a therapist, any of these advisors, they're not judging. It's just the open playing field to hear what it is that you have to say and to help you see your patterns, behavior, and better to help you guide for you to really find out who you are. Got it. So, yeah, that's me. You're hidden treasure.
Stuff.
You're hidden treasure.
So, definitely going to have the link below.
Oh, great.
And how does someone go about setting up a session with you? Do they just email you?
Yes.
Okay. So, your email is at Gmail?
No, it's at yourhiddentreasureinc.com.
Okay.
So it's LaToya at yourhiddentreasureinc.com. And essentially the way I do my packages is that it has to be a commitment for 2 months and it's once a week. We meet either via Skype, telephone, and or they can come to the YHT space.
Okay. So there is your intro to a life coach, folks. Get you a life coach and get your life coached. That doesn't really make sense, but it's kind of like when somebody says, like, what does a court officer do? They office the court. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of people don't realize how much, like, they get in their own ways. Like, you talk yourself out of things. It's, like we had already said, like, a lot of the things that are holding you back aren't, I don't want to say extrinsic. I don't think extrinsic is a word. I know intrinsic is a word. So they're intrinsic, but they're not external. A lot of the forces holding you back aren't external.
Absolutely
It's you causing your roadblocks. So a lot of times your friends aren't going to really be the best ones to tell you that, because I know I have friends who will be like, girl, he ain't shit anyway. Don't even worry about it. You fly, whatever. And then they're not telling me, maybe you are a little too, maybe you should turn that down or dial that back a bit. That's what a life coach, from what my understanding is, can actually help you identify. It's not necessarily that something's wrong with you, but it's kind of like you said, your patterns. So I would definitely suggest a life coach because everybody can benefit from their life being in order. Like, imagine the people that you don't like dealing with. Right. It's easier for everybody if your shit is together.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for you. Harmonious. And you're also making other people's life a little bit, better because they're not dealing with messy you. They're getting to deal with you that's got it together. So definitely reach out to Toya if you're looking for a life coach or if you're just interested in more information or different ways. And the worst thing you can do is try it.
Absolutely.
That means you get 2 months.
Actually, there's a free consultation. So if anyone wants to try it, there's a free consultation just to make sure we're the right fit, because there's tons of life coaches, you know, and it's just like anything. You want to make sure that you have the same energy and that you feel comfortable, because you have to be completely honest. In order for someone to help you, you have to be honest with them.
Right.
So definitely contact me for a free session.
Check her out, folks. So thanks for watching. Make sure that you share the message, because this is definitely something that many people can benefit from. Share, like, comment. If you have a specific question that you'd like to ask LaToya, drop it below. And if you don't want to email her, I can definitely facilitate her getting that email. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will hope to see you